This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Make it clear that the views expressed by our host are not considered the official stance of NBR views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Hello friends, I'm Kent Skelton and I'm so glad you are here. Together, we can battle this struggle and find freedom from it all. Life is continuous, and it would be ridiculous to say that you or I don't experience those seconds, minutes, hours, or days that seem like they'll never end. Time continues, regardless of how we feel or what we experience. We search longingly for a way to handle and navigate through these situations we are experiencing. There has to be a way. Indeed, I can find the solution to eliminate these negative experiences and periods of despair I am feeling. Maybe it's not our problems but those of family members or loved ones living in pain. These pains may come from alcoholism, addictions, illness, grief, boredom, and so many other forms. What will we do? Where is that light I'm supposed to be able to see at the end of the tunnel? When will I see it? When will this end? The timing to realize you need help is up to each of us. That's you, that's me. We are each individually accountable for ourselves. We have to make the change, and the timing is now. There's no time like the present to desire and begin that road to recovery. Together, let's reach that freedom from struggle.
Interview of the week sponsored by LTD Tactical.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, we're here with you today. Freedom from Struggle. We're sitting here at Red's Round Table, and I just wanted to welcome everybody aboard. And we got this great Memorial Day weekend, and just a reminder, you know, this Memorial Day weekend, Memorial Day, and all of us are, so many of us are celebrating, having cookouts, and just having a good time. But man, remember those veterans that never made it home. I mean, this is 3 veterans on the screen and a dependent at one point as on the screen. So there's 4 of us. But look, we're veterans. We made it home. We're home. We've got people that we worked with, people that we served with, had gone at different times, and many of those didn't come home. Our parents, the generations before each of us, there's a lot that didn't come home. There's more not coming home now in the younger generation. And just always remember those folks. We wear red on Fridays till they all come home. It's Saturday, but I'm going to wear another red shirt, but I always wear red when I do the different shows on the podcast. I'm Red. We're at Red's Round Table. Today we've got Raquel and her daughter, Alec, are going to be with us. And Raquel is a veteran, and she ended up losing her sight. And although she gained a vision, that keeps her going, that she continuously works every day, okay? And like I said before, Freedom from Struggle, we're based on a recovery program. We look at the 12 steps to recovery and their biblical relations that go with each step. I'm a Celebrate Recovery leader at First Baptist Church, Biloxi. And believe it or not, that's right here in Biloxi, Mississippi. And the cool thing with Raquel through MBR Radio, where it's giving veterans a voice, I met another veteran that's wanting to get on the air, and it turns out we live within 15 miles of each other. So it's just been a blessing to meet her. Raquel, welcome to the show. Alec, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Red, for having us.
I'm just delighted, and we're looking forward to hearing more about you. First thing I want to do, I do want to mention a few of these things, regardless of whatever type hurt, habit, hang up, addiction, alcoholism, whether it's an anger issue, it doesn't matter. We can use these steps that are in Celebrate Recovery. You see the same type steps in AA and NA, and they're Al-Anon. I mean, there's these 12 steps that have proved so successful, not just for me, okay, maybe not just for the next person, but for so many back into the early, well, let's say at least the mid last century, okay. Before most of us were born, they were already doing this type stuff, learning the 12 steps. And the first one is just admitting we're powerless over our addiction or the behavior or the health condition we face, and that our lives have become unmanageable. Okay. And when we say lives have become unmanageable, it's easy to understand when you have an addiction or a bad habit that just keeps you in trouble and affects your families or anybody else around you. But the big thing is knowing that we just can't do it ourselves. And that's where the step 2 is. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Okay. And knowing that we can't do it alone, it's unmanageable by ourselves. And I believe Raquel, whether she had gone through any type of 12-step program or not, she would probably agree with me on this, that she did realize she couldn't do it on her own, and she's going to have people helping her out. And I know she had a lot of people providing education to her on her condition, especially in the first years that she started experiencing. But the third step is make a decision to turn our lives and our wills over to the care of God. There's biblical references to this, Bible verses, and we'll talk about those later, whether it's in this show or another show. But we are a recovery program. We're wanting to let people know that there is hope. Okay. And I mean, I thought I was I'm not even going to say it, my perfectionism problem. But anyway, I've had my problems. My name's Kent. Like I said, I've struggled with alcoholism. I've had anger issues, anxiety, depression, lots of pain, lots of different hurts, a lot of habits. Okay. And then I had some hang-ups in there, and you'll hear about more of those as our shows go on. Now, I did suffer bad from alcoholism. That was one of the worst, really. And these 12 steps really helped me get out of that. Of course, I knew who that power that was greater than myself. I knew who it was. That was my Lord Jesus Christ. And I really turned to them, and it made such a difference in my life. And I want to share with other people. We're not alone. It doesn't matter what our situation is. Who knows what it could be, but you're not alone. Okay, Raquel, I know you were in the military, and you're a veteran. You're going to be eventually having a show here, a podcast here. I look forward to working with you since you live so close to me, and I'm excited about that. And Alec, it's nice to meet you. But Raquel, can you tell us a little bit about your military service?
Absolutely, Red. My name is Raquel. I am from this beautiful Gulf Coast, and I served in the military for 2 years. I don't even think they have 2-year enlistments anymore, but I went directly to Korea and served all my time and came back home. I went to school, graduated college, had four kids. 20 years later, I'm pregnant, and like I tell all my friends, my Mack truck backed over my head and it didn't move, and that was my brain tumor. So I had to overcome a lot, but I can tell you what, I had pain, depression, anxiety, and alcoholism all before I lost my sight. So it was definitely a come to Jesus moment for me. And it was a blessing. It was a blessing because the road I was on was just as dark as my world became. So it was kind of fitting. And, you know, it made me, it forced me to look at myself. And for the past 14 years now, that's kind of what I've been doing. And I didn't like what I saw, and I knew I had to make a change. I had to, and that's what I did.
Right. Raquel, I know it was quite the change. Alec, you being the daughter, when your parents are active duty and we have our dependents, those young ones, we call them rugrats. I mean, I know you weren't a rugrat during your mom's time of service, but you were born, several years later, and but that's pretty much the way you've known your mom most of your life. How old were you when she had her tumor and stuff? And
I was 6, turning 7. I remember I was in first grade. And all from my point of view, all I really knew from the beginning is because I have 2 older brothers. I knew I was getting a little sister. That's kind of all I knew because she was pregnant at the time. So I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm really excited. We have letters in our names and we needed a C. I'm A, my other brother's D and B. So we needed C. So we're coming up with C girl names and everything like that. And then it was just all like a just a sudden switch almost. Your mom's in and out of the hospital constantly, and my granny, before I went to bed, she's coming and telling me, you need to pray, because they kept telling her that the surgery was not done before and that she was not going to come out of it and that she was going to die in the surgery. So I was just being told to pray and pray and pray. And I remember first grade, which is all the teachers knew. And I guess just being a kid, I was still a kid in a sense, because I also did not know much of what was really going on at the time. And so, but I knew my teachers knew, especially the way they would just come to me and ask me, are you okay? And, is there anything? And I just wasn't understanding. So
right.
When the next time I see my mom, she's not pregnant no more and her head's completely shaved. So being that young, it like, I would like to say it didn't affect me, because I know it did in some sort of way. But I guess now, just being older, looking back on it, like it did affect me, but it's just like I only knew what I knew. I knew a lot more as I got older, like after everything happened. But at the time, I only knew what I knew. It was very minimal.
Right. Alec, that's amazing for a young lady to have to go through that. I know we're going to have to take a moment to hear from just a little commercial break. It'll be a short one. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more with Alec. I want to ask you a couple more questions. And Raquel, I know you've got a lot to share with us, and I'm looking forward to it. Folks, stay with us. We're glad you're here, regardless of which platform you're seeing us on. I know we're on a number of them, but let's hear a word from our sponsors and from our partners.
The fact that our patriotism in America is dwindling, I really wanted to start the American AF movement. Freedom is fragile, very fragile. It takes a certain level of intestinal fortitude to stand up and say and do the right thing to preserve the freedoms that so many have paid a large price for. About being in the military, and that recruiter said, it's not Biden's army, it's your army, it's his army, it's his army, it's all of our army.
American tactical. American as f***.
Hello, welcome back. We're still all here, and we really thank our partner behind the scenes, Big Grizz. He's taking care of us from behind with the sound and running commercials and making sure everything goes right technical wise. Thanks, Grizz.
No problem.
No problem. Big Grizz is part of several different shows on here, and I don't know if he wants to throw a little pitch in for any of them, but he's welcome to do it if he'd like.
Well, I have my show, but I support all you guys. I mean, it's the Big Grizz show. I'm live every Friday.
All right, Big Grizz, and that's the good thing about veterans of the broadcast system, the MBR, Military Broadcast Radio, Military Broadcast Talk. It's veterans helping each other, and the whole organization together gives veterans a voice. It is therapeutic in nature for it's bound to be for others, because it definitely is for me. And back with Raquel and Alec. Alec, we're hearing a little bit about you there right before the break, and it looks like or sounded like you had a good support system, whether you knew it or not. And then, of course, as you matured and gotten older, you really realized, and obviously still today, 14 years since all that type stuff was happening, you're still caring for your mother, and I know she's blessed to have you, and she's so thankful. I'm thankful that you're helping one of my sister in arms, and I know a lot of people will agree with that out there. Raquel, we had talked a little bit. We had talked a little bit about, when you were in the hospital, soon after your surgery, and you had lost your sight. Can you share a little bit about that? Your feeling, how you were feeling, how you were reacting at that point?
Sure. It's traumatic. And at the time, I didn't realize how traumatic it was. After my brain surgery, I went to a nursing home. I couldn't walk or talk. And I had to learn how to do everything over again. But the hardest part was no one in my rehab knew how to teach me. The long cane that I was using, no one kind of knew what it was. They thought it took batteries. Oh my gosh, I've heard so many things. So basically for me, it was starting from learning how to stand up, learning how to hold my body weight, learning how to stand straight. I had no point of reference anymore. When you can't see, you lose the floor, the ceiling, the walls, anything that
Your equilibrium.
Yeah, your balance. You don't realize how much you depend on where you are, your spatial reference in the world, just on a daily basis to walk, to stand up straight. So it was definitely a lesson. It was hard, but you have to do it. You're the only person that can do it. And also, I did have a lot of support around me, but pretty much when you become disabled, there's no lesson, there's no script, there's no list to tell you exactly who to turn to, where to go. You kind of have to, pardon the pun, bump around until you find your way. And that's exactly
Right.
what I did. I bumped around until
Okay.
I find my way.
Well,
I hooked up.
you looked up.
Yeah,
What's that?
I hooked up with the VA, the Veterans Administration. They just built the blind rehab here in Biloxi, uh, which I believe in 2012, and it was kind of right on time. I had just kind of lost my sight, and I applied, and thank goodness the VA retroactively picked up all of my hospital bills, and since then has taken care of all my rehabs.
Okay, that's awesome. And listen, I know the VA catches some flack from here and there. You know, when people are really when people are working on their claims and stuff like that to really tie it into whether service connection or not. But man, they've been so good to me, and actually, I mean, they've been caring for me. What now? Almost 20 years? No, 18 years since I retired, and I've been with them for the most part ever since. And they've just done a tremendous jobs in most every area. I mean, any of us can complain. You know, you can always find something to complain about, but really, I've seen them doing their jobs and make a lot of good things happen. I know some other people haven't received the same exact treatment or what they felt like they were needing at the time, but I believe they really are trying. I think we're lucky here in Biloxi to have such a good VA system. Plus, it's just that blind rehabilitation center they got there. I've been in there. I've been inside there. But it was just cause I wasn't blind. I didn't know where I was going. All right. And I ended up there, and it's like, it wasn't where I was necessarily supposed to be. They helped me out. But I wanted to say, you talked about an organization. Well, no, hold on just a second. We'll talk about the organization in just a second. But you know, I know you've got a lot of faith and thankfulness, or you're thankful for that organization. Okay, the Blind Veterans Association. And I was just reading something. You know that there are over 130,000 military veterans, right, that are blind, and that's being blind. That's, you know, it's not counting a lot of those other people that might just have lost some of their sight, or you know, messing around with that, or not messing around, but experiencing that. And I'm sure the rehabilitation centers see them too. That's huge. I mean, really, that is really huge. And I mean, if you look at, I don't know, 50 states, that's average of 6,000 folks blind in each state, and the VA is caring for these people. I've noticed a lot. You know, I mean, it is very visible with the blind people that are in rehabilitation there, just at the VA. You know, walking with their sticks or using the guide dogs and things like that. I'm not sure what all you have. You might be able to share some of that with us, or some of different phases you might have gone through. But wow, you know, you don't think about that, and that there's so many people that have their eyesight has been affected, and despite, and we talked about this on the phone, you know, and this is biblical also. You know, sometimes the blind might see better than the people that can see in so many different areas, and especially when it's in the heart and in the mind, and being thankful and being able to show gratitude despite the disability you're having. You got anything to share about that experience, maybe with the BVA, the VA, and the care you've been given? And I know you said they picked it up right away, you know, picked up your hospital bills and that type stuff. But your experiences with the VA is, I mean, you keep going back, right? So they must be doing okay. What do you got to share about?
I couldn't say enough about the BVA and the blind rehab centers. They were first established in 1946 because they saw a need for soldiers who are returning home from World War II there was a need for this. And at first, there was no place for them to go. And we definitely saw the need for the equipment and the training. So we started with one blind rehab in Chicago. That's kind of our flagship. And now we have 13 all over the United States that any of our blinded veterans can go to and train and get the equipment on, and everything is taken care of, because we do have special needs being blind. Special needs.
Definitely. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Special needs and special training, and also it's mental and physical, and I'm not sure how much more of the other, but it's a combination that for a lot of people it's tricky, and it takes a lot. I have a lot of therapy, music therapy, art therapy that I've been participating in, sports, adaptive therapy, skiing, that's kind of contribute to my mental health that's associated with my blindness.
Okay.
So it's a lot that you wouldn't, I'm sorry, it's a lot that you wouldn't think about, that over the years, they're right in front of your face. It's just, wow. I didn't even think about this. But it really plays. It's so much that plays a part of your life once you lose your sight, and it's a lot to deal with. So the blind rehab really, really helps find that combination that you need for each veteran.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know we take for granted being able to, our what do you call it? The hearing, seeing, talking, smelling, the senses. We take that stuff for granted so often. Which even those, you can use those senses, to help with anxiety and things like that. I know that one of my big things I have to help with my anxiety, ask me, hey, what's 5 things you can see? Where I start trying to get my mind off of me or whatever my anxiety is at the time, and just being able to see 5 things or smell, or boy, wouldn't those roses smell wonderful, and what different smells the roses put off. And so there's got so many different ways that we can use those senses. And I know, just for instance, you don't experience it, you take it for granted, but with so many went through COVID in the recent years, not to bring up the vid, or nothing like that, but I lost my smell and my taste for quite a while. And I still, there's things I still cannot smell to this day. Look, I want to share real quick this picture that we have on the screen. And this is a Braille flag, and it was presented to Raquel at a recent event. She might share with us a little bit of an annual event that's happening down here on the coast. Somebody might be interested in. And I know Raquel, she couldn't say enough about that flag earlier on our phone conversation. And when she shared the picture with me. Look, it's time for another break. We need to take a little break, and we're going to be gone for a few minutes, but don't go away. Hang out. Listen to this. I believe this really it's a feel-good type thing. Okay? We'll see y'all in just.
I'd stare down the barrel of a gun. I'd walk through the lion's den. I'll fight to save my family, even if it means my end. This world is hard enough without the ones you love. If it ain't me, who's gonna hold a gun? I'm playing the dead man's game, like sheep led to slaughter. The devil's here to take your soul, but blood is thicker than water. Standing at the gates of hell, I'll have to play their game. The price is high, but I've refused to forget her name. No borders, no walls, only God can part the sea. It'll take more than the devil to burn down this tree. No borders, no walls, through the deserts I will seek the righteous path and bring them to their knees. There's no line a man won't cross for his family. Scorned and convicted for crossing the line. Since when did one in heaven become a crime? They just want to plant their seeds amongst the pines for a chance at something better. They'll give their life. No borders, no walls, only God can part the sea. It'll take more than the devil to burn down this tree. No borders, no walls, through the deserts I will seek the righteous path and bring them to their knees. There's no line a man won't cross for his family. On American soil, their roots have run dry. It'll take holy water from the tear of an angel's cry. No borders, no walls, only God can part the sea. It'll take more than the devil to burn down this tree. No borders, no walls, through the deserts I will seek the righteous path and bring them to their knees. There's no line a man won't cross for his family. Standing at the gates of hell, I'll have to play their game. The price is high, but I refuse to forget her name.
All right. Hey, Raquel, you tried to scare me there while we were listening to the song. I couldn't see you. I was like, oh, where's Raquel? Where's Alex?
Sorry.
Thought we was playing Where's Waldo or something. But hey, no, I'm glad y'all are here. Glad y'all are back. Listen, we had one question was asked by our fire social worker. He said, what are some new technologies that you found really useful, being in the blind community, even something you might know some other folks that maybe they're just have just started experiencing blindness or or finally getting help or something. What are some of those new technologies that you're just love or so proud of that they came across with?
Absolutely. When I first lost, we used to have about 5 pieces of equipment, and now it's basically an app. You can, we have one app called CNAI. Pretty much I can take a picture of anything and plug it in and ask CNAI, what is this? If I'm by myself, what is this a picture of? Or take a picture, what is this a document? It'll read to me. GPS is awesome, but I tell everyone, learn your cane. Your cane is your best friend. It's very simple, and it's nothing technical to it. But if you don't know your cane, pretty much every other piece of electronic equipment is not going to do you any good. You've got to know where you are basically in order to operate, or to navigate your GPS, your pretty much anything. But one of my favorite, what is it? Oh, wow. Um, my talking thermometer. I love to bake. That's an awesome. Oh, my talking scale, because I'm really health conscious, so I'm always on my scale. My watch talks to me pretty much anything you can think of.
Really?
Now,
Hey.
but when, like I said, 14 years ago, it was an item for everything. I had a screen reader to read me books. I had something to tell me a color, something to tell me time. So now it's pretty much on one app.
That's just an app. That's awesome.
Yes,
That is
it is amazing the
right.
leaps and bounds they have just in the 14 years that I've been blind. The blind community is just leaps and bounds. I can remember reading about the driverless car, and now they're on the market. So it's really been. I'm impressed. Like, I'm impressed. They don't teach you how to see, but they teach you how to better be blind, if that makes sense.
No,
Or
no. I
be,
mean, it makes perfect sense.
yeah, do better with the vision or the sight that you do have. But it's the equipment is phenomenal. It's only getting better.
It's only getting better. So, do they? I know you got Alec. Alec helps you a lot, and I believe you said you had a couple of other children. Is that two older brothers for her? Are they still around? Are they able to help you, or is it just primary Alec?
They do, but it's primarily me and Allie. You know, she
I understand more.
right.
Girls
I'm
rule.
I'm
Girls rule. That's all it
I'm
is.
a lot more precise. I go into detail. My brother is not gonna do that. They just don't take the time to do stuff. I will take the time to do it because
Well, yeah, you need that girl's touch, truthfully. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, hey, when my wife or my daughter has to help me, it's always a little better than if my son's helping me. They like kick me around, just move, just get over there, But that's awesome. And you're saying you got to know your cane, um, it, I don't know. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed when I see people, even those that are highly visually impaired, that just the way they're able to get around and still get through, the stores or through this or through that, and knowing right where to go when they come in a building or out of a building. It's just, I know there's things to help you. I remember being little or younger when I first saw the Braille identifiers for letters and for numbers, in the elevators. I think that was probably the first place I ever saw it, was truthfully in the elevators. And now I just feeling around, I don't know just why I notice it or being more aware, but I see things, and it might be because I'm having to touch stuff or get up close to see something myself. And but I notice there's so many things that are marked or that help make it easier for the blind.
They are definitely starting to help us identify things better on restrooms, for instance, elevators. Definitely, most signs outside of a room, you have the numbers and also in Braille. And
Right.
it does help. It's huge. I took elevator Braille, which is the letter A through J. And it's Braille is interesting. It's amazing to me when I see someone read it so well and fast. And it's a skill that you definitely have to keep up or you will lose it.
Right.
And but it's an awesome skill to have.
Right. So
It's
are
an
you
awesome.
able, let me ask you, and I don't know, being more having to be more aware of with your hearing,
Oh,
with your
yes.
touch and stuff like that. Has with being able to I mean, obviously you can do, man, you could probably do so many different things or more things with your hands and with your ears and your touch or feel than I, that I realize that I can do. The kind of what I was wanting to get at was the most people that you notice, do they adapt as well as it seems? Look, it seems, I mean, I know you've been experiencing this 14 years, but it seems like you're well along with this and you are living your life. It seems, especially with the aid of your daughter, to the fullest of what you can do. I know I've seen the pictures and stuff like that, of the volunteer work you do, or the different, organizations that you're with. Wow. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just amazed by it. I told you over the phone, when at our church, First Baptist Church in Biloxi, where I lead that Celebrate Recovery group, along with my wife and several other ladies and another guy. But, wow, it's, I have that ministry, I was telling you, for the deaf. And, it's just so amazing just seeing those people. Cause I think, when we sat there saying, hey, someone that's blind might see better than somebody that does have their sight. Well, some of those that can't hear, well, I tell you what, they can see, and they can see that person doing all the sign language. It's such a most beautiful way. Okay. And, so it goes to show you, you lose one of those, senses. You can still adapt with the help of others and things that are provided for you. I'm sure they have other technology that's helping them out amazingly. Would you mentioned the vehicles? Would you be willing to get in one of these vehicles? Listen, Alex sleeping late, or Alex is working doing something else, and look, I'm gonna run to the store. I'm gonna run up to the VA and help some of them people learn how to walk around, that can't see. Or what's up with that? You gonna get in it? You gonna jump in that car?
In a minute, and it's and people are like, are you crazy? But yeah, maybe a little. When you have not been in a car since 2009, I haven't driven a car since 2009. Just to sit behind a wheel, driving it or not, I'm there.
Okay. All right.
Count me in. Yes. In a minute.
All right, Raquel, you're a go-getter. I know you're a go-getter. I know that you mentioned the participating in like competitive sports and athleticism and stuff like that. You do that type stuff also, right? What are some of the things that are offered? Not just the blind, but some others too. If you can share that.
Right, sure. I participate in adaptive sports, and it will this includes skiing. I'll tell them out.
Your adaptive sports. Okay, so her adaptive sports includes skiing, kayaking. You can do paddle boarding. Do they have canoeing?
Yes, I'm sorry. We have running, hiking, biking,
different
rock climbing,
paddle boarding.
Yes, you name it. Pretty much, if you have a sport that you like, we will adapt it to fit you.
That's awesome. That is just amazing. And I know there's so many in the general public that need that type of type of whatever it is, just those things that they can do to rehabilitate, to be included, that somebody might have ran up and down a basketball court for so long, or maybe fished and stuff. You're sitting there saying you can get in a kayak. I guess somebody, if they kind of were aware of their surroundings with the help of somebody else, they could even sit there and fish, probably even cast, and knowing how far they want to cast. And I bet that would just be I know that it feels good just to feel a fish bite, us being down here on the coast, we felt that bump on that hook, oh, here we go. And I could just imagine how that might fit, how the great feeling that would be to someone that's that can't see what's happening, but to experience it.
We do fly fishing and we do hunting. We do turkey hunting in April and deer hunting in November.
And that's all part of that adaptive sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you're like, well, how do you fire a weapon? Well, they have adaptive equipment to help you fire, hold. You sit out in the blind just like everyone else. It is amazing. I just went hunting for my first time about 2 years ago, and I tell all my friends, the deers know when it's turkey season, and the turkeys know when it's deer season.
Hey, amen. Amen, sister. That's a fact. And I don't care where in the United States you are, that's the truth.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it was fun. I'm glad I went. It was challenging. But any type of sports, if you can think about it, we can adapt it to fit you.
Okay.
We can adapt it to rifle shooting, any kind of scuba diving. You are limitless. You're really limitless where we're concerned. And it's amazing the work that they do.
That it really does sound amazing. Look, we're going to take another station break, and we'll be back in just a minute. Don't leave us. Keep your seats. We got more to share.
Attention, all troops. Are you ready to stay connected with the latest news, entertainment, and information tailored for our armed services? Look no further than MBR.
Here at MBR, we're more than just a radio station. We're a lifeline for those who serve from the front lines to the home front. We're here to keep you informed, entertained, and connected to your fellow veterans.
With our dedicated team of broadcasters, we bring exclusive interviews with military leaders, insights into the latest strategies and technologies, and uplifting stories of bravery and sacrifice.
But that's not all. MBR is a nonprofit organization, meaning that every dollar you donate goes directly towards supporting our troops and their families, whether it's providing care packages, funding, scholarships, or offering mental health resources. Your support makes a difference.
With that, H-Train, can you tell me a little bit about how MBR got started?
Well, in 2005, Jim Butler created it so that he could keep contacts with all of his pals over in Iraq. And then when 2018 came, he decided that it was time for him to retire. He was going to close up the station. And because we've had so many former DJs since 2005, I mean, it was pretty inspiring. We have at least 5 veterans in every single state, at least. And, you know, it just brings us closer together. It creates a family, and it creates a family that we lost when we got back from Iraq. And
mind you that every show is manned by a veteran or a first responder. That's amazing. I love what MBR is doing here. I love being a DJ here as well. Talk to people who have been through situations similar to yours. You're not alone. That's what we do here on MBR.
Yep. And it's nice because if you're not having a radio day and you're just having a bad day,
or you don't have a face for radio, we just want to remind you that every show is manned by a veteran or a first responder. So if you've ever had a dog tag, you could be possibly on the show or create your own, as well as military dependents. Together, we'll stay strong. We stay informed. We stay connected. So visit our website and download our app today, MBR.
MBR, serving those who served while giving veterans a voice.
First heard of MBR through my classmate Cedric. We were going to school at Colorado Media School, and we'd worked on some projects there together, including making a podcast. And he told me he was interning here at the station and that they would give us a shot to put our show on the air.
But it's a really rewarding feeling just to come back and learn radio, learn a trade for myself, and help people out at the same time.
Brandon Stokely here, and I want to encourage every single one of y'all to keep grinding, keep fighting, keep practicing, keep getting those reps in, because that's what's important, right? Keep building, laying down that foundation, and keep working at it, keep practicing. No matter what the results you see right now, it doesn't matter what's going on right now. Look towards the future, and that's what it's all about. So keep working hard, keep practicing, keep getting those reps, and that's what's most important right now. So keep up the good work. Best of luck.
All right, Raquel, we're back. Hey, I don't know if you noticed those the male and female voice that was talking together. I'm sure you may have talked to H Train before. You might have recognized that voice. The girl, her name is Cindy CG, and that's my partner in crime. We do travel together. We got a podcast we do on Monday afternoons, 50 States of Gray with Red and CG, or CG and Red. I should leave her name first. You know what I mean? But anyway, and we love that. She's been very helpful to me, as Big Grizz has, Maverick, and H. And it really does about helping others and giving veterans a voice. What a great organization. Raquel's fixing to be taking advantage of that also. And what you got anything else you just really just dying to share with us, Raquel? I mean, we still got about 10 minutes left. I might have a couple questions up my sleeve, but what else would you like to share? Anything you'd like to just push out there towards anybody that's struggling with anything?
Well, I would definitely like to recognize the Memorial Day March we just had on Wednesday. Recognizing all the soldiers who have given their lives, people that struggle on a daily basis. Recognize them in their struggle, and also perfect example, I was running a little late for our banquet the other night, but one of our secretaries, she kind of held up the slack for me, and that's kind of the motto, no soldier left behind. And I'm also appreciative of my secretary and treasurer of the BVA organization. And I would definitely like to send a special shout out to the city of Pascagoula, who just purchased a Braille flag. We're going to hang it up in their city hall on dedicated tomorrow.
Really?
Yes.
What time is that supposed to be? Maybe
Well, we have a Jazz in the Past.
Jazz in the Past.
Jazz in the Past in Pascagoula tomorrow, and it's an all-day event. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs. All kind of food vendors, arts and crafts, and just relax and hear some nice jazz. So that's going to be all day until 8 o'clock that night. We have a fireworks sponsored by Bucky's, which is great. We're excited about that partnership. And the city has been great. They have been awesome.
Okay. Pascagoula's on the map today.
Yes.
On the MDR. That's good. Long Beach right next door to Gulfport, and then you come over to my town, Biloxi. But we got a lot of wonderful towns down here on the coast, and if you get a chance, you should visit because the beaches are beautiful. And Raquel, I'm sure you'll attest that there's some patriotic folks down here on the coast, and fireworks galore. And
yes.
It's really I don't know. It's not really a dull moment down here. People, you can usually find something to do. We're happy to be a part of it. Such a great military retirement community, along with the active duty folks that are around here, and training all the new troops. They got a lot of training going on. We have our healthcare system for us veterans and dependents. We are very appreciative of that, and it's just a joy to know that they're able to help someone like yourself and your brothers and sisters over there as veterans that can get help, through the Blind Center. And that is just a wonderful thing. That as you support the military broadcast radio, I just can't say enough about being the nonprofit that they are and what they're providing for veterans. I mean, just in tutelage and training to be able to do something like this. We're all talking a lot. We've got a community of our own, and any support you can give to military broadcast radio, like I said, it's a nonprofit, is greatly appreciated. And just the smallest amount per month can help put a headphone on somebody so they can do their podcast great, put some mic in front of them or whatever type system they might need. I know the main station has bound to have needs there in Denver, where H and CG, and I don't know who else is actually right around there, but it seems like you can't ever tell because Raquel, our backgrounds on the stage usually always have a MBR flag or whatever might be particular for your show. And I can't wait till you get on the air and we're able to listen to you and be a part of it. And me and you, we're going to stay in touch down here on the coast. I think I need to take you to dinner here one of these Fridays coming up. We got a VFW over in Long Beach, which wouldn't be far from you. That serve they serve a heck of a Friday night meal.
I think I've been there.
Well, we're gonna go again if you'll join me.
Oh,
We'll bring your daughter too. You know,
I would love that. I would love that.
And that would be fun, and just to be able to make sure you're taking part in what the veterans are offered down here on the coast. I know these things are going out throughout the United States, and wow, hey, it's a great. We're in a great place. We're in a great nation. We got people that help out the military. We're so thankful. We're thankful for those that help support military broadcast radio. Real quick before your sidekick took off and left us, huh? I'm gonna have to take Alex's name off here. It says RNA's here with me, but it's just Raquel, and like I said, once again, we're super glad you're here. And what do you think, being in there in the room yourself? I know you have to be so thankful for family. I talked a little bit about your support system, but wow, she's been helping you her whole life, I guess, huh? Y'all pretty tight.
She has been amazing, but I tell you, Red, the best person you can call on is the man above. When you find yourself in my situation, you're looking around and you see nothing, and you're going to find him. So that's who I leaned on the most, and he has not let me down.
Right.
And I thank him for all of the support from everyone else. Definitely.
Yeah, look, she that's a voice from above right there, I believe. And that step to us who came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. Philippians 2:13 says, "For it's God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose." And then going on to this third step, when you make a decision to turn your lives and wills over to the care of God, in Romans 12 says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God." That's our spiritual act of worship. And I can see it in your doing your just what you do, through your actions. You're doing just that. You're sharing with others. When I asked you, man, what a good, what a blessing that is to bestow on others that might be in similar systems. Okay. Hey, we got several comments that have been out over different platforms, and they just really wanting to express their thanks, Raquel, to you for sharing your story with us. And it is awesome. I'm thankful for it too. I'm glad we came into contact with each other. And do you have any other business things or anything you might want to share that for people that might be in the area or associations that you're a part of?
I just want to thank you, Rhett, for what you do, and helping me when I called, you answered, and that's kind of what we do. Yeah, that's kind of what we do. And
hey, isn't that's wonderful and perfect. I'm just thankful that you called, and I've received help from the same way, and in the same. Listen, you don't know how I was feeling earlier, and Big Grizz was coming to the rescue for me today in more ways than one. And listen, is one call, that's all, and that's one of my things. Hey, that's one of my things. Look, I do travel also, right? And we got that 50 States of Gray on Monday night. What do you have any idea what the name of your show is going to be when it comes up? Or still working on that?
I've gone back and forth, but I navigate a lot it will definitely include navigating, maybe navigating blind. I'm not sure 100%, but that's what I'm leaning towards.
Okay. Well, look, myself and all our audiences, we got people that are watching live on various platforms. And also we got those that are going to be seeing recordings of this. This will be recorded. Folks, if you're watching at this time or at a later time, share the video with us. Share some of the things that Raquel's been able to share with us. And I think it's a joy. You never know when you might share something that helps someone else out. Okay. And that's just us. That's just friends helping friends, family helping family, and us brothers and sisters that have been in arms helping each other, and y'all helping us. And look, we can all do this thing together. It takes a village, and let's all be helping each other out. And we thank everybody that's been here. We thank Grizz for working behind the scenes for us. And tell Alec that we really appreciated her being on the air with you and giving us the ability to meet both of you.
I sure will. And I thank you so much.
All right. Don't forget thank you. Don't forget the BVA.org, Blinds Veterans Association, MBR Radio, MBR Talk. You can download an app on your phone. I will throw in this again on Celebrate Recovery. You can download an app on your phone or just search it online. That Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. It doesn't matter. Look it up. You're not in this alone, folks. All right, Grizz, I guess that's about it for today. I appreciate you, buddy.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving